Hey everybody, it's Naomi. In this video, I'm going to talk about seizures. You probably know what seizures are, but you probably, I bet when you think of seizures, you imagine a person lying on the floor, shaking uncontrollably, saliva dropping from their mouth, and yeah, that's probably it. And it does happen, yeah, I even have those type of seizures, but it's not the only type of seizure, plus it doesn't always look like that. So first things first, there are two types of seizures. Two types of what's causing the seizure. So you can have epileptic seizures or non-epileptic seizures. And epileptic seizures are from epilepsy, and it's a neurological condition. And non-epileptic seizures you can have either from an autoimmune disease that I'm in the process of diagnosis, and that's what, I have non-epileptic seizures. And from non-epileptic seizures can also be from a head injury, trauma, basically something psychological. So the first type of seizure is an absent seizure, and I also have them. So basically, you can see my absent seizures on this channel because I have them pretty often. So even when I'm recording, you probably have seen on this channel. But if you didn't, then here's a little video of me having an absent seizure, because I really, it's easy to catch them, because even if I'm recording something, then I can have an absent seizure. Another type of seizure is an atypical absent seizure, which is different because, one, you can be slightly aware. There can be movements, so movements or even falling. It happens to me. Yes, it does. As I showed you the video of me having an absent seizure. Now I can show you a video of me having an atypical absent seizure, which you can see here. And so I've fallen, and I had movement, I had eye movement, because absent seizures you don't fall, you just stop. And in atypical absent seizures you can fall down, which happens to me quite a lot. Plus, some people can respond during an atypical absent seizure. I personally cannot. It's just I can hear you sometimes, but I cannot respond, even if I want to. Then I'm paralyzed, so I can't really do that. But some people can respond, but it's not really a normal response. It would just be weird speech. It wouldn't really be like this normal talking. The next type of seizure, which I thankfully don't have, is a Gelastic seizure, also called laughing seizure. You probably haven't heard of that. To be honest, I myself haven't heard of that too before I did my research. So it's about that you suddenly start laughing, or look like you're happy, and you're aware. It's just a laughter that you cannot stop or control. And the same with Dacrystic seizure, which is about crying, or it looks like you're being grumpy and crying, and you're also aware, and you can't do anything about it because it's a seizure. It's chemical imbalance, and it just makes you cry or laugh, as I said before. Next one is called Atonic seizure, or not medically, but people call it drop seizure or drop attack, which basically is, I do have that. It's quite weird, but it's basically sudden loss of muscle tone, but it doesn't really mess with your consciousness. It's just loss of muscle tone for me, neck muscles, and it's the most common, I guess, to have your head down. You can also collapse to the floor when you suddenly have a tonic seizure. Another type is myoclonic. Myoclonic. Hopefully I'm spelling it right. myoclonic, and I also have those. It kind of looks like tic, which, like, I personally have tics, so it's sometimes quite hard to tell the difference between was it a tic or was it a myoclonic seizure. But now I've learned more about it. And by the way, I don't really have much tics now, because we don't really know. It sometimes just takes turns. Whether I'm gonna have a good tic day or bad tic day, it doesn't mean I've been pretending the whole time, but it just means that something else is wrong. So myoclonic seizure, for me, it sometimes looks like this, but like more dramatic. Plus, it doesn't mess with your consciousness, so you're fully aware. The next type of seizure is focal aware seizure, also called partial simple seizure. They are the same. I start to feel a little bit drowsy and trippy. Time is going slow and then fast and slow and fast. You know, you can't really tell it. It's just not normal. My hearing is impaired and my vision is impaired. There is partial complex seizure, also known as focal impaired awareness seizure. I did it. And it's basically very similar, but you start, like, your consciousness starts to be like in and out, in and out. The next type of seizure is something that, I don't know if I'm spelling it right, but I think it's bilateral tonic clonic seizure, which is different than tonic clonic seizure. Those are just like sudden and you're out and you have no consciousness during those. So I had to cut the part out about bilateral tonic clonic seizures, so I'll just say a word now. So basically, they just start in a different part, like, it just starts differently, because bilateral tonic clonic seizures aren't just like sudden tonic clonic, but it starts with partial seizure or absent seizure, where actually tonic clonic, it just starts like suddenly and you're completely out, and yeah, that's the difference. And the other type is, as I said, tonic clonic seizure. So a tonic clonic seizure is basically what you, as I said before, what you imagine as a seizure. So a person falling to the floor and starts to shake uncontrollably, and all that stuff. But it does look like that. It really does. Seizures like this are quite disturbing. If you're not prepared, then that's not so good. The symptoms that includes, well, obviously shaking, jerking, all that stuff with muscles like really shaking. Although it does not have to be like the full body. You can have like only your legs shake. Other seizures can be like you just have your arms shake. Like, it doesn't even have to be like this. It can be like this. Basically repetitive jerking, like, you know. For me, I mostly, from what I know, I usually, my head goes like this, constantly like this. So that's the repetitive movement I do, like this. Plus, yeah, my whole body is shaking, all that stuff, but I'm not talking about me. So the other thing that happens sometimes, it doesn't have to be like always, but sometimes they may lose control of the person may lose control of their bowels or bladder, which resolves in obvious stuff. And like, it is quite embarrassing for me when especially at school. But there's nothing I can do about it, because I also have those types of symptoms. And also about drooling, then saliva is just, you know, coming out of your mouth like this if you're laying on the side. So that's important. They have to lay on the side, because otherwise they can choke on their saliva. I will make a video of how to help someone with seizures when they have a seizure, in Polish and in English, because it's really, really important, and not many people know how to deal with it, and it's important. There are also like two more types of seizures, which is, one is tonic and the other one is clonic, because they're also separate. They can be separate seizures. Tonic is basically muscle stiffening. You don't lose consciousness fully, like you would during a tonic-clonic one, but it is quite impaired. Like, you may not know exactly what's going on, be like a little bit trippy. Yeah, it's just muscles stiffening, tensing, all that stuff. And the last one, I don't know if it's the last one, but that's what I found, is clonic seizure, and it's jerking movements with jerking. It's basically like you would have a tonic-clonic seizure and like your muscles shake and all that stuff, but you're aware and can't do anything about it. You're just paralyzed, like in your own but you're stuck in your own body, which is doing weird stuff. So it's quite traumatizing. Like, I can even say I'm quite traumatized after I was awake during a bad seizure, because it's terrible. Like, I can't even explain how scary it is to wake up during a seizure, like a tonic-clonic one. It's unbelievable. So that would be all. I'll see you soon. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit the ring bell if you haven't already. Yeah. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.